In this video, we want to create a base template. So go to your workspace and select or click on Create. Here we want to start from scratch. And if we select this, we get an option to import some data from Google Sheets or other sources, but we don't want any imported data. As you can see, Airtable has created a table for us with 3 records with empty information. And the first thing we do is we rename our base. Here we click on this and add B24 base template. The next part is we change the appearance, for example, light orange, and we choose an icon. We could, for example, take this one. And this information is marked down, and you can use, for example, 3 asterisks for a line and use a header like a template and some text like started 2024 XXXX. And this information is could be maybe useful when you share this base with other people and have some automation information or setup or configuration information. You can put it here. And with this, we have now a name for our template, for our base, and we have changed some appearance like color and icon, and have put some information if we wanted to share this this base or for us later. The next part is to rename the table. Here you can rename the table to, for example, draft table. Save. And now we can start with the fields. The first one is our primary key ID. And we use a auto number for this field. And we could add a description like auto increment, but this is only the information for us, and create this field. Now we move it to the first column, and Airtable asks if we want to change the primary field, and we confirm. Now PKID is our primary key. You see here a sequential number 1, 2, 3, and here is our primary key, primary ID. But if, for example, you delete the second record and add a new one, like here, test, as you can see, the sequential number is as before, 1, 2, 3, but our primary key number 2 is gone forever. And this is important if you, for example, have an inventory. We call this field SKU or stock keeping unit. Or in database, you have this primary key, and if you delete a row, then this primary key number is gone forever, and that is important for us. Now, as mentioned, we want to start from scratch, so we select all these old fields and delete them. Now we add our first field. Here is title, and this is a single line text. It's somehow like varchar in other databases. And we create this field. Here, for example, you can say title and add it to other rows. And here we take title 1, title 2, and title 3. Next, we want to have a field, something like status. And this field is very important for views like Kanban. Here we select a single select and add some options like created. We can give it a color like light green. Then we add another one, inactive. We give it some orange or yellow and delete it. And give this one, for example, a color like red. The good part about it, we can define a default option like created and add this field. So from now on, if we, for example, here say title 4, the default option is now created. Now we want to add a universally unique ID, and for this we use UUID, and here we can use a formula like record ID. And as you can see, Airtable gives for each row a unique record ID, and this is unique, overall unique between all of the tables and all of the records. And this is important for us later if we want to add, if we want to connect our API or use Chrome extension. And as you can see, for the API documentation for B24 base template here, the ID of the base is a unique ID starting with app for app. Then when you scroll down, you see that for the table, there is another unique ID starting with TBL. And for each field, there is a unique ID starting with FLD. And when you go back, you see for each row, there is a unique ID starting with rec. But we will cover this later when we connect to Airtable with our API or Chrome extension. Next come two fields. If you know from PHP frameworks like Laravel, one is created at, and this one you can go and use created time and use ISO to be similar to our database systems and create this field. This is important later if you want to connect make.com or init.io to your Airtable. This field is important. Use this created at, or you can have updated at. And for this one, we have an option, last modified time and create field. The next two fields are created by, and here we have another option, created by, and then we have another one, updated by. Again, we go down, and last modified by. Now we have some fields which the data comes from Airtable system, updated by, created by, updated at, created at, UUID, and our PKID. And this information is more or less for those people who, or developer who want to connect to Airtable. So therefore we rename our view here. Rename view to grid all, and then we can use duplicate view, and here we name it rename it to grid data. And for grid data, this information from UUID till here, we just hide it. So this information is the main information of this table. And for non-coder, this is only the information they required. But if you want to go further and use the API or connect the Chrome extension to Airtable, maybe you want to use this one. But we can go to grid table, and here we can right click and add to my favorites. And this is a view which you will use more frequently. And this one is only when you develop. Now to have a clean start, I go over here and duplicate table. I don't duplicate the records to have this sequential number or primary number. Duplicate table, and here I rename it to template table. Save. And here I remove this. Now I have a clean base.